Hey guys, Pemmelaar, Chief Trading Officer at Quoine here. I am really excited to be making this announcement. We are launching Liquid. Yes, you heard that correctly. I'm here to announce to you guys that we are launching Liquid. We're not telling you that we're going to launch Liquid sometime soon in the future. We are here to give you an actual date to launch Liquid. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to tell you all about how we're going to roll through this. I've got some important information for you about what's going to happen, how your accounts will be affected or not affected. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what to expect in Liquid and also what not to expect in this release. So just to understand, I hope everybody understands that this is chapter 1 of Liquid. And this is actually a response to our community. So we had a discussion internally about whether to work towards more of the roadmap before doing our initial launch, or to launch with what the community wants and then begin to iterate. So we made the decision that we're going to iterate. This is chapter 1. You will be getting a lot of what we have discussed. There's a few more things coming down the roadmap and I'll discuss that with you. So first of all, let me tell you about the plan. So our launch date is September 4th. So let me make clear what I mean by a launch date of September 4th. On September 4th, we will enter into what we call maintenance mode. This is, at this point in time, Oryptos and Quoinex will enter maintenance mode. When we come out of that, Liquid will be born. Yay! Seriously, I'm really excited about that. So we are still trying to determine how long that will take. Our engineers are doing rehearsals to run through that entire piece. It's a fairly complex technical piece that we have to run through, and there are all sorts of scripts and things and code that has been written solely to accomplish this upgrade. So it's not insignificant. We expect that this will take less than 24 hours. With this time, I will say though that there has been a tremendous amount of planning that has gone into this. So I'm actually fairly confident that the migration and the upgrade will go smoothly. Now let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen when we go into Liquid launch. So we have prepared a Liquid FAQ, Liquid Launch FAQ, which you will find in the notes of this. So have a look at the notes if you want to go have a look at a written version of this. But I'm going to talk you through some of it just so that you know and understand the main highlights, right? And this is particularly important for Oryptos customers. So let me first of all help you to understand what's actually happening. So Oryptos and Quoinex are going to merge, and then they're going to be rebranded as Liquid with all sorts of additional functionality added, such as the World Book, etc. So let me talk a little bit about what's going to happen to your accounts. So if you're a Oryptos user or a Quoinex user, your accounts will be maintained. And what that means is when you arrive at this page, if you go to the old Oryptos page, you're going to be redirected, or you're going to have a link to be redirected, right? Because we do want to, again, maintain the Oryptos site. If you go to the Quoinex site, you're automatically going to be redirected to Liquid. In either case, you're just going to use your normal login information, your normal 2FA authentication, and everything should work seamlessly. Now, if you have two accounts, normally those two accounts should maintain the same authentication information. But if by chance, for whatever reason, you do have two accounts, truly two unique accounts, those two unique accounts will become Liquid accounts. And if you want to merge those two accounts into one account, you can do so. You have to do this with the request through customer support. Okay, so that's what happens to your Quoinex and Oryptos accounts. Again, if you never do anything at all to any of your accounts during this period, you should just end up with a single Liquid account. Right, so moving on. I've addressed what happens to your balances. Let me talk specifically about wallets and how this works. So there are cryptocurrencies that are available on Oryptos but not on Quoinex, and vice versa. right? What's going to happen there is if it exists on Oryptos or on Quoinex, they will be merged, right? So that means that basically you're going to have a lot longer list of wallets on Liquid. If it exists on both of them, your Quoinex wallet will take priority. So if you have a Oryptos wallet with, say, BTC, that will be transferred to your Quoinex BTC wallet, and then that will become Liquid. So from your point of view, you're going to arrive there and you're going to see a single wallet with BTC. And if you have balances in both, those will be aggregated. So you will have a single BTC balance that should sum to the total you had in each individual account. Okay? So no needs at all to worry about that. Products. Let's talk about products. Any product that exists on Quoinex and that exists on Oryptos, or on either of them or on both of them, will be available on Liquid. In addition to that, certain products that so far have not existed on either will become available, but not necessarily from day one. It depends on the product. So some of the tokens that we're trading will also be offered against fiat. If they haven't been on Quoinex before, but they were on Oryptos, using the World Book, we're going to be able to offer them against various fiats. But that might not be from day one, depending on what you want to trade. Okay? Let me talk to you a little bit about what happens during the maintenance process. So first of all, when we go into maintenance, I think this is obvious, but you will not be able to trade. So this is a major upgrade. We're going to have to shut down the exchange. There's a lot that's going to happen during that period. You will not be able to trade during that period. That's why we want you to do whatever you need to do prior to that period. Now, what if you are a margin trader or a CFD trader and you have open positions? So if there are any open orders on Oryptos, you needn't worry about those orders. Those live orders will not be transferred to Liquid. Okay, so Liquid starts off fresh there. In the case of Quoinex, where there are orders in a market, those orders will exist in Liquid post-launch. However, we are clearing out some of the stuff that's been there for a while. So if there are any orders in there that are older than 2 months, right? So if you placed an order, like we've got some orders from 2 years ago, like clients still have it way, like we've got people trying to buy at 1 cent, BTC, right? So that's all going to be cleared out. Any order that is older than 2 months on Quoinex will be canceled. That doesn't mean if it's an important order to you that you can't come back in and put it back in. You will be able to do that, but we're just trying to get rid of all that stale stuff, right? So let's talk a little bit about positions, right? So if you have open positions that you are concerned about, right? So I want to stress we're not going to close out your positions automatically. But if you have a position that's close to being closed out and you're concerned about it, you might want to close it out. Why I'm suggesting this is this. If you have a position that is close to being stopped out automatically, a margin call, it could happen that after we come up that you're at a more adverse price and you get knocked out at a worse price. So if you're thinking that you want to get out of your position and you don't want to be caught with a big move during the maintenance, my recommendation to you is to close out your position beforehand, okay? But again, we're not going to force you out of your positions, okay? And you should be aware of the fact that when we come back up, if it's moved strongly against you, you could be right away forced out of your position, okay? So we want to set that expectation. That's normal behavior for the exchange. What's not normal is that you don't have a continuous market, right? So while we're down in maintenance mode, there is that concern. If you are concerned, if you're highly leveraged, you should consider temporarily closing out your position and reestablishing it when you get back in. How will this affect API traders? So if you are an API trader, if you're trading through the API in an automated fashion, this should not affect you at all. You should be able to still do exactly what you were doing before on Quoinex. It shouldn't be an issue. You'll also be able to use going forward a new API that we'll be announcing. Currently it's api.quoine.com. You'll be able to use api.liquid.com. But initially, we don't want to have any issues with API traders, so the system that exists on Quoinex will exist on Liquid. If you are a Cryptos API trader, you do need to make sure that when we come back up on Liquid, that you are properly trading the correct market. So the market should exist and it should not be an issue for you at all. But where we anticipate there might be certain issues is where there is a market on Quoinex and on Cryptos, like I'm thinking of ETH, BTC. If you're trading on Quoinex in an automated way, you will almost surely have no issues. If you are trading on Cryptos, you shouldn't have any issues, but you should approach with caution. All right, so I would suggest that you take a bit of time to carefully ping the API and make sure it's doing what you expect it to do. Right, so that's it kind of for the FAQ. Let me talk to you a little bit about what we should expect in this. We mentioned this before. This is chapter 1. The most important thing that we're rolling out here is the first chapter of the world book, the internal world book. And what does that specifically mean? That means that you will be able to access, or that MMOs, multi-market orders, will be enabled for client orders for BTC, ETH, and BCH against fiat. So we expect that you will see greatly enhanced liquidity, particularly in BTC. So if you are a global BTC trader and you found the spreads and the liquidity to be kind of so-so, I think you will be very, very pleased. I think you're going to be really impressed about that. So that's what we're looking forward to. I think that's a very big thing. There are a few other things that are in there. The cash utility, you will be able to pay your fees using cash, and you will be able to automate the purchase of cash, or I should say the liquid token, because we're going to be migrating to the liquid token. You will be able to use this to pay for your fees. So if you are a cash or going forward liquid token holder and you're hoping for appreciation, this is your moment. So we're going to automate the purchase of the liquid token. So what that means is that people who are paying for their fees using the liquid token, those charges, when they don't have enough of the token, we will automatically go out into the real markets and purchase that on their behalf. So this is a really important point for those of you who are cash holders, because it's kind of the fulfillment of the first stage, the initial promise of our ICO, that we would link liquid to, and cash the token, soon to become liquid, the token, to the utility of Liquid, the platform. And this is it. That is that moment. This is rolling out. The other thing is the lending app. That is, it's gotten reworked, and we think it's a really exciting feature to be able to lend out your crypto. Another few really big things in there is, I mean, most people won't really notice how much work has been put into this, but there's been a huge design effort in the whole Liquid web app. So that's something to look forward to. It's been completely revamped. I think it deserves its own recording. I can talk about it for an hour easily. There's a lot in there, and it's a massive improvement. So a few things that won't be in there that I want to mention. So the Liquid mobile app, it won't be there. It's coming, but it will not be there in the first launch, right? The external world book, that's coming, but it will not be there in this launch. One other thing that some of the MMO pairs, so the whole idea of doing this rather than waiting is to get out there with the world book internal, test it, scale it up in a real-time environment and see what happens. So as we become more confident about that, as we address any scaling issues that we run into, once we do that, we will begin adding more and more MMO functionality. So that means that many things will start connecting with each other, as promised in the white paper. And that should greatly enhance liquidity. Okay? All right, guys, that's it. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. September 4th. Thank you.